Hello and welcome to Everything Football. I'm your host Donald Lamb, and today we're going to be taking a look back at last year's game-winning or game-clinching plays. We had a lot of great close games to watch last year, so I've narrowed this list down to my top 10 picks of the 2020 season. Starting out at number 10, we take a look at Week 12 as the Panthers went to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Early in the third quarter, Carolina's defense came out swinging as the rookie Jeremy Chin took back-to-back fumble recoveries to the house, giving the Panthers a 21-10 lead.
Lost the football, Panthers have it, and will score! It's taken into the end zone by Jeremy Chin.
After just hitting the 2-minute warning in the fourth, the Panthers would kick a 21-yard field goal, set up by a Chad Beebe muffed punt to give Carolina a 6-point lead with just a minute and 51 seconds left in the game.
Fair catch, single bounces away, and the Panthers recover.
Kirk Cousins would lead his team down 75 yards to eventually connect to Chad Beebe for a touchdown redemption and take the lead with 46 seconds left.
Touchdown! Redemption for Chad Beebe!
Bridgewater was able to get his team in position to kick a 54-yard field goal for the win, but Joey Sly would end up missing wide left, and the Vikings would hang on to win 28-27.
From 54 yards out, Joey Sly is wide to the left. It is no good.
For number 9, we head to Las Vegas where the Raiders take on the Chargers in Week 15. After losing their first meeting of the year, Herbert and his Chargers looked to tying up the series. At halftime, the Chargers had a 17-10 lead, but the Raiders would spend the third quarter playing catch-up as they tied the game up 24-24.
Here we are under 6.5 to go, third and goal. Mariota will get in for the touchdown.
Both the Chargers offense and defense would give their kicker Mike Badgley a chance at a 47 and 51-yard field goal.
Here's a pick. Pass was behind Zay Jones.
But he would go on to miss the target both times.
Good snap this time. Hold is good. Kick is no good.
With no points scored from either team in the fourth quarter, it was time to go into OT. Raiders would receive the ball first and drive down the field to only come away with 3 points. The Chargers would then come out and get a free 20 yards from a pass interference called against the Raiders.
He starts leaning on him.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. While he plays his fly the foul.
Herbert would then show off his arm strength as he hit his man Jalen Guyton on a 53-yard bomb, setting the Chargers up on the Raiders' 2-yard line.
If that ball's out where it needs to be, it's a touchdown. It's a walk-in. Game over.
A couple of plays later, Herbert would run a QB keeper to the left side and punch his way in for the game-winning touchdown as Chargers win 30-27.
Gonna take it and get it. Touchdown. Chargers win it.
At number 8, we go back to Week 12 as the 49ers take on the Rams. This would end up being a defensive battle as both teams had a combined total of 7 turnovers and 14 punts. San Francisco put themselves up 17-3 with an 8-yard run with Mostert and an interception by rookie Javon Kinlaw that was returned for a defensive touchdown.
As he throws it, it's intercepted. That's the rookie Kinlaw into the end zone.
But the Rams would rally back. With 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third quarter, Rams' Aaron Donald would strip the ball from Mostert, giving his teammate Troy Hill a chance for a defensive touchdown.
And on his way to the end zone, Troy Hill, touchdown Rams.
Not too long afterwards, the Rams would have another offensive possession that gave Cam Akers the spotlight. In 3 plays, Akers rushed for a total of 68 yards and gave his team their second lead of the day, 20-17.
Akers the football and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cam Akers and the Rams.
The Niners would eventually tie the game with a 44-yard field goal and force the Rams to punt on their next offensive possession. With just 2:10 left and starting on their own 20, Mullins would push the Niners down to the 24-yard line of LA and give his kicker, Gold, the glory with a 42-yard game-winning field goal.
It's up there. It's out there. It's good. And the 49ers beat the division-leading Rams.
At number 7, we go to Week 5 where the Vikings take on the Seahawks. Minnesota kept Seattle scoreless going into halftime as they led 13-0. The Seahawks would come out of halftime and score 21 unanswered points.
The throw to the back corner of the end zone, reaching up, making the catch, touchdown, Seahawks!
Their defense contributed a fumble recovery and an interception. Kirk Cousins and company would string together an 11-play, 72-yard drive to score a touchdown, but failed a 2-point conversion. Minnesota's defense would stand strong and force a Seattle punt, and would score another Cousins passing touchdown to go up 26-21 heading into the fourth quarter.
Fake toss. Cousins to the end zone, caught. Thielen.
Minnesota's good fortune continued as Eric Wilson picked off a Russell Wilson throw at midfield.
Going to be intercepted by Eric Wilson.
The Vikings would end up getting down to the Seahawks 6-yard line, and instead of taking an easy field goal on 4th and 1, they would attempt to go for it and come up short, giving Russell Wilson an opportunity he would make the most of. The Seahawks put together a 13-play, 94-yard drive, ending with a 6-yard game-winning pass to DK Metcalf.
Wilson surveys, fires, and it is caught by DK Metcalf.
At number 6, we jump to the AFC Divisional round where the Browns took on the Chiefs. Kansas City would seem to have the game well under control as they led Cleveland 19-3 at halftime. After the Chiefs missed capitalizing on points from a Tyrann Mathieu interception, the Browns would score 2 touchdowns on their next 2 possessions, putting their deficit to within 1 score.
Number 2, 3rd and goal, and Hunt is home for the touchdown.
With Patrick Mahomes out of the game due to a concussion, Chad Henne came out to try and put his team ahead by 2 scores. While looking like a promising drive, Henne ended up throwing an interception, resulting in a Browns touchback.
Browns are there, and it's intercepted in the end zone by Joseph.
While the Browns ended up punting, their defense had one more opportunity to give Baker and the offense the ball back.
Trying to run for it, running, he's going to dive for it. The mark is going to be close. This will tell it right here. It's going to be short. Now what do you do?
On 4th and inches with 1 minute and 20 seconds and counting to go, Andy Reid had a tough decision to make. Trust in the defense and punt, or risk it and seal the game with a first down. The offense would be the ones to take the field, and a 5-yard completion to Tyreek Hill would seal the Chiefs' 22-17 victory.
There's no play. Just look at the body language.
Oh, there is a play. Henne rolling out, throws it. Hill! And the Chiefs are heading to the AFC Championship game. Only Andy Reid gets it shotgun on 4th and an inch.
At number 5, we jump to Week 7, where the Lions take on the Falcons. Both teams played fairly even for the majority of all the game. Falcons led 14-13 going into the fourth quarter.
Julio Jones top of your screen. One official ruled touchdown. Obviously can't challenge. End zone throw. It doesn't matter. There's Ridley. Touchdown.
Falcons had an opportunity at a possible field goal from Detroit's 13-yard line, but decided to try for a 4th and 5, but failed to convert.
Blitz. Ryan. Incomplete.
The Lions then gave their kicker Matt Prater a chance to put them ahead with a 46-yard field goal, but missed wide right.
It's off and no good.
The Falcons' next possession resulted in a Matt Ryan fumble recovered by Detroit at Atlanta's 32-yard line.
Trey Flowers came up with it after Romeo Oguara knocked it loose from Ryan.
After failing to move the ball, Prater redeemed himself with a 49-yard field goal to put the Lions up 16-14.
2 for 3. Prater up there, out there, and through.
The Falcons would make their way down to Detroit's 10-yard line. With 1:12 left in the game, the Falcons give the ball to Todd Gurley, trying to gain every yard possible without scoring a touchdown. This way they could drain the clock to the last few seconds and use their final timeout for a last-second field goal. But his momentum while breaking a tackle led to the ball crossing the goal line plane and giving Atlanta the lead. A successful 2-point conversion put them up 22-16. The Lions had 1:04 left with no timeouts and 75 yards to travel. After a 22-yard completion to Amendola, then another 29-yard completion to Galladay, Stafford spikes the ball at Atlanta's 11-yard line with 3 seconds left. On the next play, Stafford is able to find his tight end Hawkinson for an 11-yard touchdown.
He has time. Hesitates, throws, touchdown! Falcons. And T.J. Hawkinson.
Prater drains the PAT, and the Lions come out of Atlanta with an unexpected 23-22 victory.
Box the hole, kick away. It is up. It is good. That's it. This is over. Pack it up, boys, and come home.
At number 4, the Titans travel to Baltimore in Week 11 to take on the Ravens. The visitors would be the first to put points on the board as Ryan Tannehill connects to Jonnu Smith for a 1-yard touchdown.
Tannehill looking up top, and it's a touchdown. Jonnu Smith.
The Ravens would respond with a couple of field goals before J.K. Dobbins gave them their first touchdown with a 2-yard run.
1 yard out, Dobbins. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Baltimore would go into the half leading 14-10. After his defense held the Titans to punt, Lamar Jackson would find Mark Andrews for a 31-yard touchdown, increasing the Ravens' lead 21-10.
They protect Jackson, who launches to Andrews, open for the touchdown.
The Titans would add a couple of field goals to their score before the fourth quarter. Tennessee's defense would end up forcing a Ravens punt, which led to the Titans' offense to a 10-play, 90-yard drive, ending with a 14-yard touchdown pass to A.J. Brown.
Goes to Brown. Brown trying to wiggle free. Still fighting for it. Brown takes it all the way. Unbelievable effort.
With just 18 seconds left, Jackson and company would set up Mr. Automatic Justin Tucker for a 29-yard field goal that sent the game into OT.
Mr. Automatic, dead center.
Ravens received the ball only to punt after 3 plays, totaling 2 yards. The Titans would march down to the Ravens' 29-yard line before letting Derrick Henry break off a game-winning touchdown run and passing 1,000 rushing yards on the season.
Henry getting free. Henry's going to end the game. Titans take it in overtime.
Coming in at number 3, we take a look in on Week 8 as the Chargers travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. Denver's Brandon McManus would give the Broncos an early 3-0 lead with a 35-yard field goal. The Chargers would soon face a 4th and 1 at Denver's 26-yard line. Instead of attempting a 42-yard field goal, they would attempt to go for it but would fall short, giving Denver the ball back.
Kelly with the handoff and didn't get there.
After multiple punts by both teams, the rookie Justin Herbert would find Keenan Allen for a 9-yard touchdown pass.
3rd and goal. Herbert throwing end zone touchdown. Keenan Allen.
On their next possession, Herbert would add another touchdown to his team's lead, finding Gabe Neighbors for a 2-yard touchdown.
Looking, throwing, touchdown.
Oh, that's really well done. That's just great patience.
The Chargers would come out of halftime receiving the ball and march down the field in 10 plays, ending with a 24-yard touchdown pass to Mike Williams.
Herbert gonna go for it all. Corner of the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Mike Williams.
Badgley would increase the Chargers' lead to 24-3 with a 52-yard field goal. Denver would soon respond with a 55-yard touchdown run from Philip Lindsay and a 9-yard touchdown pass from Drew Lock to Albert Okwuegbunam.
And Lindsey finds running room. 40, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Denver Broncos. End zone, caught, touchdown.
Going into the fourth, Denver would be trailing 17-24. After a 47-yard field goal from Badgley, Locke would find his man Deshaun Hamilton for a 40-yard touchdown.
First down, Locke to throw. Over the middle, and he's got his man. That is Hamilton. And Hamilton to the end zone for the touchdown.
Badgley would then come out once again and knock down a 33-yard field goal, giving the Chargers a 30-24 lead with only 2:24 left in the game. The Broncos would end up going down to LA's 18-yard line, faced with a 4th and 4. As Locke's pass to Okwuegbunam fell incomplete, LA was called with a defensive pass interference that would give Denver one more attempt at a game-tying touchdown. Locke would then find KJ Hamler for a 1-yard touchdown pass, and McManus would nail the game-winning PAT for a 31-30 Denver victory.
Look at Hamler turn back around and make himself available to Drew Lock.
At the number 2 spot, we traveled to Dallas in Week 2, where we're reminded why Atlanta is known as the biggest choke artist of the league. Within the first quarter, Dallas turned the ball over 4 times, leading to 20 unanswered points from Atlanta.
And now another fumble. Do you believe this?
crazy first quarter.
To Gurley. Ryan, some pressure. Steps away, throwing end zone, and it's caught. Hitting the pylon, and he's in. How about rolling out? That's for sure. Now going deep. Wide open is Hurst. Nobody home. Touchdown, Atlanta. Field goal attempt. And Koo, 27-yard attempt. It is up and good.
Dallas would end the first quarter finally finding the end zone with a 1-yard run by Ezekiel Elliott, making the score 7-20. Atlanta would start the second quarter with a 12-play, 60-yard drive, ending with a 3-yard pass from Matt Ryan to Calvin Ridley.
For the corner, it's a touchdown. Ridley again.
Both teams would add a field goal to their totals before halftime, making it 29-10 Atlanta.
And it's up and good. And Koo has got another.
Dallas would start the second half strong as Dak scored 2 unanswered rushing touchdowns to bring them within 1 score.
Prescott, and he's in. Touchdown.
Ryan and company would respond with an 11-play, 74-yard drive, ending with an 8-yard touchdown completion to Russell Gage.
And throws end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Gage, 4th touchdown pass today for Matt Ryan.
The Falcons defense would force a Cowboys turnover on downs and set up Younghoe Koo for a 32-yard field goal, stretching Atlanta's lead to 14 points.
Puts it up and through.
Dallas spent the next 6 minutes holding Atlanta to a punt and putting together 2 drives totaling 166 yards and 19 plays for 14 points.
Prescott going end zone. And it's caught for the touchdown. Before. And you know what? Kind of thought the same thing. Touchdown. Make it 3 on the day for Dak Prescott.
With only 1:48 left in the game and down by 2, Dallas favors to go with an onside kick that was executed to perfection as the Cowboys covered the ball 11 yards down the field.
The Cowboys have it. Do you believe that?
Dak would soon connect with the rookie CeeDee Lamb for a 24-yard gain, putting Dallas at Atlanta's 30-yard line,
CeeDee Lamb down to the 30.
giving Greg Zuerlein a chance at a 46-yard game-winning field goal, which would split the uprights. Cowboys would win 40-39.
It's good! Somehow, some way, the Cowboys have won it.
Finally, taking the number 1 spot, we go to a game that would involve what many would consider the catch of the year. In Week 10, the Bills would travel to the deserts of Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Arizona would spend the game's first possession driving down the field to only come away with a 23-yard field goal.
Chip shot here for Gonzalez.
Buffalo would respond, ending their drive with a trick play, giving Josh Allen a 12-yard receiving touchdown.
Oh, he's going to throw it. McKenzie hits it. Trickery for the touchdown.
Before the end of the first quarter, Buffalo would add a 54-yard field goal from their kicker Tyler Bass to put them ahead 10-3. Both teams' kickers would be the only ones to score points in the second quarter, adding 6 points each, making it 16-9, with the Bills leading going into halftime.
And he knocks it through. But Arizona has faced all day. Long drive. Tyler Bass from 58 yards away. The Bass-o-matic.
Cardinals defense would force a Bills punt, but Buffalo would respond with forcing a fumble and jumping on the recovery.
That ball rolls all the way to Buffalo. An absolute gift.
3 plays later, Allen would find Cole Beasley for an 11-yard touchdown pass.
Throw, caught, touchdown. Cole Beasley. A strike from Josh Allen. And the Bills build on their lead.
Kyler would then lead his team down the field for a 9-play, 85-yard drive, ending it with a 1-yard QB keeper rushing touchdown.
Take it. Murray takes it himself. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Arizona's defense would force a punt and interception on Buffalo's next 2 possessions, while Arizona's offense would turn both opportunities into points with a 45-yard field goal and a 15-yard rushing touchdown by Murray.
For the one-on-one. Here's Murray. To the end zone. Touchdown.
This would put Cardinals back on top 26-23. Both teams struggled in the fourth quarter until Josh Allen found Stephon Diggs for a 21-yard touchdown, leaving only 39 seconds on the clock.
Touchdown. Stephon Diggs with the grab. The Bills take the lead.
The Cardinals managed to set up at Buffalo's 43-yard line before the unthinkable happens. With only 11 seconds left, Murray would take one last heave to the end zone, throwing up a prayer that would be answered by their newly acquired receiver, DeAndre Hopkins.
It's caught! It is caught! DeAndre Hopkins! Miraculous! It's Murray magic!
This wraps up Everything Football's top 10 games of the 2020 season. Let us know in the comments what your favorite game to watch was. If you enjoyed this video, let us know by giving it a thumbs up, and if you want more football content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when videos are released.